everybody. Welcome to Black Americana. I'm Ashley, and in this episode, we are going to explore the friendship and fallout between Misa Hylton and Kim Porter. Both women played key roles in the life of Sean Diddy Combs, one as a visionary and another as a muse. Misa, the visionary, began dating Sean when she was in high school, and she was key in laying the foundation of the bad boy aesthetic that went on to define a generation. Through Sean, she met Kim Porter and they became friends. But over time, Kim became Sean's muse, and that led the two women to fall out. Kim Porter would later help to soften Diddy's image as he became a polarizing household name. Now, we are going to talk about how the two women, in their own way, did one day come to a truce, but we're going to look at their own words and the media climate that shaped their personas. So if you're ready, keep watching. Misa was born on January 6, 1974 as Tanika Misa Hylton to a Black American father and mother of Japanese and Jamaican descent. She was raised in Mount Vernon, New York, and found her creative vision at a young age. She began styling when she was 16, although it had not yet dawned on her it could be a career, and adopted Misa Hylton as a stage name of sorts around the same time. She met fellow Mount Vernon resident Sean Combs when she was 8, and when the two crossed paths at a party when she was in high school, he made a move, but Misa wasn't interested. She told Wendy Williams, "He was asking for my number. I couldn't stand him. He was so arrogant. That's so weird. His mouth. Oh my God, you would just look at the phone and say, 'I don't believe this.'" He pursued her for a year before she gave in. She admitted she lied about her age and claimed to be older, which she said was her thing at the time, but he quickly realized she was in high school. Since he was born on November 4th, 1969, he is 4 years and 2 months older than her. Misa dated fly guys, like rapper Eric Sermon, so she said Diddy's lifestyle wasn't new for her. He took her to prom in his boss's Andre Harrell's convertible Mercedes, but she said they had some lean moments before the money came in. Apart from the high life of the music industry, she loved going to events like HBCU homecomings and Greek picnics with him. Diddy was thriving as an A&R at Uptown Records, and she began to style Uptown artists like Jodeci and Mary J. Blige. While in the Uptown orbit, she met a young woman named Kim Porter. Now, we have a visual biography on Kim Porter, so be sure to check that out for more details on Kim's life, but here is some of her backstory. Kimberly Antoinette Porter was born on December 15th, 1970 to Jake and Sarah Porter. After her parents' divorce, she was primarily raised by her mother and grandmother. And because this question comes up so often on the Kim Porter video, yes, her mother was Black. After she finished high school, she arrived in New York City, but there are discrepancies on how. Kim stated she won a modeling contest and her mother helped her move to New York. It is confirmed Kim was the first Black winner of the Fresh Faces of the South modeling competition, and she signed to an agency. But infamous media personality Wendy Williams has a different version of events. She claimed in her book, The Wendy Williams Experience, that Kim moved to New York as the plus one of Dallas Austin after convincing him to move to the city. Dallas is also from Columbus, Georgia. Their mothers were good friends, and while pregnant at the same time, they would joke about their kids growing up together. He was born 2 weeks after Kim on December 29th, 1970, and their mother's jokes proved to be true. After Kim passed away, Dallas revealed the movie Drumline was inspired by his relationship with Kim. Ironically, the main antagonist of his character in the film is named Sean. That might be a coincidence, but who knows? Supposedly, Kim left Dallas after she caught the eye of New Jack Swing's breakout star Al B. Sure while Dallas was a struggling producer. Dallas went on to be very successful, but whatever went down between him and Kim, the two maintained a deep loyalty towards each other. When she passed away, he said, This is the hardest post I've ever had to do. I have never known a life without Kim Porter, from kindergarten through all of our lifelong experiences in high school, having matching BMWs, or her being the biggest believer in me making it as a producer and us getting out of Columbus to be somebody. We made it. We were inseparable. I feel like part of my soul has been taken away. If you knew her, you knew a strong, beautiful, smiling gangster angel. I send prayers to the kids and our family and my brother Diddy. This is a hard one, but we will get through it. Love you, Kim. Dallas even wrote a character statement for Diddy when he was sentenced in October 2025 after being convicted on federal charges. According to Kim, she was introduced to Al through Andre Harrell. They quickly fell in love, and according to Al, the two married at some point. Their son, Quincy Taylor Brown, was born on June 4th, 1991, which happens to be Al's birthday. After Quincy's birth, Kim took a job as the receptionist at Uptown Records so she could travel less. Before long, she met Sean Puffy Combs. And around that same time, her relationship with Al began to break down. By this time, Diddy was making a comfortable salary at Uptown and developing an imprint called Bad Boy. To give some insight into the structure, Uptown was a record label and its distributor was MCA Records. Bad Boy was going to be under the Uptown umbrella. Misa discovered she was pregnant in early 1993. She said Diddy was nervous at first, but he was attentive once his nerves settled. He began going out less, spent time with her, and purchased a home in the affluent Scarsdale, New York. Things changed when Diddy was fired from Uptown Records when Misa was 5 months pregnant. Diddy was fired due to insubordination. With Misa's encouragement, he built Bad Boy Records in the basement of their new home, but she noticed a shift in his behavior. Misa settled into home life and hosted get-togethers with her friend girls. One guest was Kim Porter. Kim would vent to Misa about the issues she was having with Al, and Misa tried to show support. Misa described Al's feelings towards Kim, saying, "He hated her so much. He was one of those stupid guys who was like, I hate her so much, I'm not going to take care of my kid." Diddy hired Misa a full-time nanny of her choosing. Misa said her life was happening so naturally at the time, she didn't realize most young black girls didn't have a life like hers and the jealousy it could attract. Once Bad Boy secured a deal with Arista Records, an influx of money came in. Then, on December 30th, 1993, their son, Justin Dior Combs, was born. While Misa was adjusting to motherhood, 15-year-old singer Usher moved into their home for Flavor Camp. Diddy had been asked by L.A. Reid to develop a persona for Usher. Usher has described this experience as some of the hardest days of his life. When Justin was around 6 months old, things came to a head. In Misa's interview with Wendy Williams, she said, "At that time, Usher Raymond was working on his album and was about to come out. Something happened and we had to move. When I came home from the hospital with Justin, I had to go back home with my mom, and he, meaning Diddy, ended up living in a hotel." Now, if you are deep in the Diddy stratosphere, you have probably heard speculation about what happened with Usher in the house. If you want more details and how their mentor, L.A. Reid, brought them together, check out our documentary, How L.A. Reid Rescued Diddy. Misa later moved into an apartment as Diddy became increasingly distant. Kim Porter would visit Misa at her new apartment and encouraged Misa to end things with Diddy. She told Wendy Williams Kim would tell her, "He's not right. He reminds me of Al. You need to take him to court." While this was going on, Diddy and Kim's romance was blooming. Justin turned 1 on December 30th, 1994. And as you see here in this New Year's Eve 1994 picture, Diddy and Kim were a couple by that time. Misa had gotten tired of disrespect from other women back in their Scarsdale days. She said, "I remember one party. Girls were walking around, women everywhere. They all wanted him, and I couldn't do it. But that was my life. It was normal." Misa told Wendy Williams Kim was able to become girlfriend number one because she didn't put up a fight. She said Diddy used mind control to try to get her back and wanted an open relationship on his end, like the life he would later live with Kim. Misa refused. Although Misa no longer wanted the relationship, she did want her respect. She said Diddy was financially inconsistent the first 3 years of Justin's life. Multiple people have said Misa dated Diddy's arch rival, Death Row Records' Suge Knight, as vengeance. While Misa has yet to confirm, she did allude to it in a July 2024 Instagram post, with a picture saying East Coast versus West Coast 90s hip-hop. She wrote in her caption, "Money, power, respect, and fashion. To be a woman in business, you have to be a savage. Some lessons come hard." Though Misa was still angry, she moved on to Def Jam A&R executive JoJo Brim. She gave birth to a son, Nico, in 1997 and a daughter, Madison Starr, in 1998. She wrote on Instagram in July 2024, "I chose me. At 25 years old, I was married with 5 beautiful children, 3 biological and 2 bonus daughters. I had started my healing journey. JoJo made it so easy. He taught me things about spirituality and how to grow into the person I was meant to be." On April 1st, 1998, Diddy and Kim welcomed their first child together, Christian Casey Combs. It looked like everyone had found their happily ever after until Diddy turned Kim's world upside down when he left her for Jennifer Lopez. Misa had a pleasant relationship with Jennifer. Justin and Jennifer bonded, and Misa recalled dropping off Justin, and Jennifer would invite Misa to stay, but Misa would decline because she didn't want to get caught in the middle of Diddy's love life. Kim had a very different take on Jennifer. When asked in an interview with Essence if Jennifer bonded with Christian, Kim said, "No. Hell no. No, no, no. Do you see me? I'm a full black woman. We don't mix and mingle like that. I unalive him, so he knew better. And besides, does she look like the type that would want to play house and family with 2 little black kids? No, I don't think it was that type of situation." The tension between Diddy and Kim spilled over into a public child support battle. After more than a year in court, in 2002, he was ordered to pay Kim over $20,000 a month along with life insurance, medical expenses, extracurricular activities, nannies, and tuition. But before the year was out, the two were back together. Even though Diddy and Kim were the public draw, Misa still found herself in the rumor mill. At the time of filming this video, her and Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, is alleging Misa had a tryst with some men in New Orleans that made Diddy hit the roof. Wendy Williams mentioned in her book that she heard Misa and Baby, aka Birdman from Cash Money, were an item around 2003. Mind you, Misa was still married at this time. Misa denied it and said Baby invited her to his birthday party to discuss business. Wendy said she would not press the issue because she had a fondness for Misa. According to Hot Boys member and Cash Money alum Turk, Baby felt insulted when Diddy flexed on him with his watch collection. The video exists of the incident, but child, I'm not about to try to edit the language in it. Turk says the moment inspired Baby to make the song #1 Stunner. It is interesting Diddy did a song with Baby called Do That in 2002, but afterwards there isn't much out there with the two of them interacting. And considering how often women are used as pawns for the male ego, it sounds like things got nasty. Amid these rumors, Misa sued Diddy for an increase in child support. The two first agreed upon $5,000 a month when Justin was about 3 years old, but she had not seen an increase since. She said Diddy was a good father, but she felt they never got their fair share in child support. A court initially awarded Misa $35,000 a month along with back pay until Diddy appealed and an appellate court reduced the monthly amount to around $20,000. Diddy tries to lower the number again by appealing to New York State's highest court, but they refused to hear the case. Despite the chaos involving the adults, the children all had a great relationship. Justin is close to Kim's oldest son, Quincy, and Misa's children with JoJo Brim have a relationship with Diddy's children. Around 2008, Misa and JoJo divorced, but she says even today he remains one of her best friends. The family mosaic cracked when it was revealed Diddy fathered a child with a woman named Sarah Chapman 5 months before Kim gave birth to twins with Diddy. Kim broke things off with Diddy in 2007 and went on a media war against Sarah. Misa came to Sarah's defense, telling Power 105.1's Cherry Martinez, "Sarah is really sweet, but Sarah and Kim don't get along. I get along with everyone, with both of them. Kim and I go back for years now. We were friends at one point. I was like, you wanted him, you got him now, baby." So she's got to go through all the BS I had to go through back in the day. Sarah has been around as long as Kim. A lot of people don't know that. Diddy was cheating on me with both of them. This is over 15, 16 years ago, so we've all been around a long time. They are like my sister wives. I try to keep everything good, and we want Kim to accept Chance, but she's not ready yet. But I accepted Christian. When media personality Carlton Jordan asked Kim about Misa's comments, she said, "I don't want to respond to anything Misa could ever say. She's not even on my level." Then things collapsed between Misa and Diddy again. Misa's home went into default in 2010 after the mortgage company claimed she stopped paying the house note, and foreclosure proceedings began in 2013. Diddy had co-signed on the mortgage, so he was sued alongside Misa, but he said Misa had been given enough in child support to cover the house note and that Justin was now living in Los Angeles near him. Misa pressured Diddy for several years to pay the mortgage. After a years-long battle, the house was set for a foreclosure auction in 2016 and sold in 2017. During the 2010s, Diddy shifted to being more of a legacy artist. The women in his life, past and present, seemed to fall in line and focus more on the optics of Diddy's image. Their unit was rocked when Kim passed away at the age of 47 on November 15, 2018. Misa spoke highly of Kim in the wake of the tragedy, saying, "Kim, Kim, Kim, for the last 20 years, we have raised our children together. My mind cannot begin to wrap around the fact that you are not going to be here. Thank you for being a second mom to Justin and for loving Nico and Madison just the same. This is one of the most shocking and painful experiences that I have ever been through, a devastating loss to our family." Not that long ago, we had a dope conversation about the kids and how proud we were of them all. We spoke about their futures and how we could come together to support them in business. That was a very special conversation, but you were cool like that, and that is what I will miss the most. Our inside jokes and the fact that we have an unspoken understanding around what it was like to raise our children in this life. I promise to love and protect Quincy, Chris, Delilah, and Jesse. I will always be here for them. Rest in power, beautiful queen. In the wake of the 2023 lawsuit from Diddy's ex-girlfriend Cassie and his 2025 criminal convictions, the legacies of Misa and Kim have been battered in ways they probably never imagined. It has been particularly difficult since Kim is not here to speak for herself or guide her children. A few months before Cassie filed her lawsuit, Misa unloaded on Diddy. Diddy and his children were filming a reality show, and Justin was arrested in June 2023 for a DUI, but there was chatter that something was off about the situation. Misa took to her Instagram stories to say, "I'm not with none of that reality TV-ish. When is enough enough? Yeah, okay. I'm not protecting no one anymore. just my son. She continued, and all the children. I love a come to Jesus moment. The statement, a fish rots from the head down, means that in addition to being a major contributing factor in a family or organization's success, leadership is also the root cause of its failure and demise. The truth shall set you free. She even revisited the controversy when Justin was a member of UCLA's football team, which led to Diddy being arrested for hitting a coach. She said, I should have kept my child with me. F UCLA too. Everybody can get it. She went on to say, how you go from being one of the greatest to ever do it to making all your money off alcohol and suing the dang alcohol company. Sell something healthy that builds people up. I'm sick of it, not mine. She closed with, everyone has to sit around for years and act like there isn't anything wrong with you. This is where the buck stops for me. If anything ever happened to my son, God forbid, what is anyone going to say to me when we all know whose fault it would be? Unfortunately, the lives of Misa and Kim continue to be measured against Diddy's deviancy. Misa's talents were used by Diddy, but she did manage to build her own legacy as an image maker. Yet the more her son Justin is implicated in Diddy's web, Misa finds herself in a complicated position as a mother. Kim allowed Diddy to oversell her on being soulmates to negate the fact he refused the covenant of marriage. She still managed to soften his image as a pseudo-family man, and after her passing, he used her legacy to position himself as the widower who never married. The hip-hop love story Diddy has tried to convince people of looks more like a Greek tragedy. No matter what the future holds for Diddy, Misa Hylton and Kim Porter still hold a special place in hip-hop for so many. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share if you haven't already. And be sure to sign up for our newsletter at blackamericana.substack.com. See you soon.